Thank you very much. Awesome to see everybody here. Love the Winston-Salem community. My name is Kevin Clark. I'm the CEO and co-founder of PointMotion.
And my name is Iman Maroufi, co-founder and chief strategy officer of PointMotion.
Before we get started, I definitely want to say, while we get this thing loaded up, special thanks to Flywheel, to Winston Starts for letting us use this space. We're Winston Starts participants. We're here in the incubator, so it's really great to see this kind of community come together. This is why we moved from Boston to Winston-Salem, because of all you amazing people who really believe in changing the world, and as companies as a vehicle to do that, not necessarily an endpoint, right? This is just the vehicle. So at PointMotion, we believe that we are ushering in a new era of interactive, data-informed care. This all started from an unfortunate accident after a cousin of mine was paralyzed from the waist down. He was riding his motorcycle. I was attending Berklee College of Music in Boston, studying jazz composition and film scoring. And when he was paralyzed, he had to spend months and months in physical therapy. When he finally ended up coming home, they sent him home with a piece of paper and said, here are these exercises, go ahead, these are what you're gonna do when you go home. But he was not sticking to them. He was not motivated to. And that lack of adherence only accelerated his rate of deterioration, physically, psychologically. But all I knew at that point was one thing: music can heal people. It can help people. It helped me so many times in my life. And I knew that when arranging for films, it could change the experience in a film. So music really does have psychological, physiological, and behavioral benefits that we've all experienced. How could I bring that to people like my cousin who are enduring extensive periods, maybe even a lifetime of rehabilitation?
So research and scientific literature has addressed so many use cases of the benefits of the music on improving population's health. But for now, let's just address the demographic structure in the US. We will be seeing an unprecedented growth of the aging population. We will be seeing that number doubling from 52 million in 2018 to 95 million in 2060. What that would mean is an increase of medical conditions related to age. Neurology, particularly, will be impacted, and not to scare you in this room, but we will be seeing 60,000 people, American person, diagnosed with Parkinson's disease every year to reach 1.2 million by 2030. One person would be dying every 36 seconds from a cardiovascular disease known as a stroke. Alzheimer and dementia will be tripling for the next 40 years. And the most shocking among this, at least for me, is that 4 in 10 Americans will be diagnosed with 2 or more chronic diseases. This is clearly calls for accessibility to care, as well as improved monitoring. Let's get on the same page. Poor patient adherence is a problem for both the patients and the healthcare system.
Absolutely. There's a lot of people who we try to help in this, and it's not just solving a problem for one person or one stakeholder. In fact, what we found to be super important is that we meet users where they are. So we developed a fine-tuned solution, starting with how can we make a patient experience that people want to stick to. What we did, we created a motion capture software that translates body movements into music. These music interactive experiences collect data using markerless motion capture technology and sends that to their doctor so that a patient can easily and enjoyably stay active, as well as get the rich information that you see here directly to their doctor. Using AI and machine learning, we're able to process this information to let doctors know important insights over a longitudinal period of time, rather than just when they go in to visit the doctor. In other words, if my grandmother or a family member of mine who I'm caring or I'm looking after, if their reaction time is getting slower, maybe I'm seeing this visually, maybe I'll see this later down the line, but how am I going to explain that to the doctor? What kind of mediums do I have to ensure that I'm accurately telling the doctor how my family member is actually proceeding, especially when a condition like Parkinson's, something that is a long-term and a chronic condition that has to be managed? Tools like this give the doctors the information that they need to make the best decisions faster, cheaper, and more efficiently. In a nutshell, we're using music reward systems to engage patients while collecting data for their therapists. It's very simple, and music crosses cultural boundaries And really, it gives us a medium to connect with people no matter where they are in life.
The market that we are addressing is huge, but we are starting with the US patient engagement solutions market, like meditation apps, apps that are helping with medication adherence. All of those fall under the category of patient engagement solutions, if you were wondering. This market will be reaching $15 billion by 2028. The chronic diseases segment alone represents almost 50%. And as you could see, the web-based apps represent the highest stake.
People are looking for ways to control their healthcare. Something I remember you told me once, I'm going to go a little off script. I remember when people go to get a COVID test, they're very ready to go to the Walgreens or the store to purchase a COVID test. They want to do these things themselves. People don't really look to go to the doctor's office for a COVID test. And we're seeing this along the lines of many different patient populations. People want access to finding out how they're doing in their healthcare together on demand when they need it. They don't want to have to travel, schedule things. And ultimately, we found the value that we're capturing the market to make this possible.
So you might be already wondering, how do we make money? So we adopted this proven business model in digital health. It is called the B2C to B. It's also what we call the bottom-up sales funnel. It's where Slack and Dropbox also have excelled using this. And the whole philosophy behind it is that we control acquisition. If our goal is to get to product adoptions, we want to control that acquisition of those patients. We want to iterate with our users. And that's why we are opening this offering for free for all end users. From there, they could upgrade to a subscription model for $30 per month to share this kind of data with their doctors. At the same time, we're running the second motion in parallel, testing and validating with B2B. With a fixed cost of $10,000 per month, they could co-create and collaborate. And they could get a revenue share as well as get reimbursed for remote therapeutic monitoring codes.
Absolutely. And the reason why health systems are super excited about working with us is because ultimately we're using music, something all of their patients can connect with. We're also not asking that their patients buy any additional hardware, any additional equipment. They can use this with a simple laptop, a tablet, anything with a built-in camera. So anyone with Parkinson's around the United States right now could actually access this today. If you want to, you can go to app.pointmotion.us and you can give it a try. We're able to accomplish something that no other company is accomplishing by bringing music where people need it most to create a better, faster, cheaper way of delivering care. And ultimately, we do have patents. We actually have 2 patents. One has already been granted that translates body movement into music using motion capture technology. And a second patent, which is pending, that we filed in 2017, which translates the corpus of data that we have into assisted diagnosis so we can more readily identify trends and patterns which recognize someone is at a higher rate or risk of falling, or if they're developing a neurodegenerative condition.
We believe that human capital is one of our most valuable assets. Right now, we are 7 full-time employees who share this dream. Our leadership team is composed of Kevin, a world-class musician, myself with a business background, as well as being the youngest board member of Novant Health, and Aman, a serial entrepreneur with a track record in tech and business innovation. Our board of directors have more than 75 years of expertise combined in finance, entrepreneurship, digital health innovation, and more.
We're in the process. We actually just opened a raise, and we already have somebody leading this round. If you're interested in taking part, we just opened a seed round. We're raising anywhere from $750 to $1 million in capital. That's going to help us achieve our next stages and work with the Novant Innovation Lab, where we are working with them to further iterate our product and validate our data, so we can capture the value that's already in the market to collect this kind of data. We are building brand awareness, and something very cool is we are actually doing a lot of exciting experiments with rewards where people are actually able to earn the things that they care about. If they like reading, if they like hiking, they like movies. At the end of doing their exercises 5, 10, 15 days of the week, we can give them cheaper insurance, cheaper cost for health equipment, and all these things that really change people's perspective on what it means to come back to your healthcare and to be healthy every day and stop doubting yourself. A lot of people when they have a chronic condition, they start doubting themselves. But with music, with creativity, we can remind people of what they're capable of. Thank you very much.
Thank you.